Miss Aurorah is back. Secured entrepreneurs. We had to give King David a little snack. You all know he's 80 in dog years. And when I'm out here making all this noise in the morning, he's like, all right, I don't see you putting your clothes on, so we're not going out. But seeing as we're here awake together, I think I'm going to need something out of that kitchen. So we have to make it happen. For the new entrepreneurs visiting us here, thank you so much for stopping by. Please like this video, share, comment below, because this is an interactive community, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. If you don't know who Miss Aurorah is, if you don't know who I am, please go to the Aurorah Dey channel. That's where we go from Sole Proprietor to CEO. Miss Aurorah helps hundreds of entrepreneurs just like you build 6- and 7-figure tax-free businesses. So check us out. All right. So we're in the series Secret Language, the Secret Language of Money, Dr. Kruger, MD. And we left off at what money means to us. And we read how money meant freedom for this individual who won the lottery, and his whole life turned upside down. So please go and watch that video, part 1. Here's part 2. So we're going to now talk about how money means captivity. So the secured entrepreneurs will have to let Miss Aurorah know if you've had any of these experiences, if this has been your experience with money. All right, so money means captivity. For the millions of lottery playing hopefuls who dream of the freedom wealth could bring them, there are others who avoid money for fear it will trap and enslave them. Ralph had a degree in accounting, yet never worked consistently at any one position. He felt constrained working for someone else. Ralph valued personal autonomy and sought to avoid any situation where someone else would be telling him what to do. How many of the secured entrepreneurs can relate to this one? Oh, good Lord. Because of this, soon after starting a new job, he would quit in order to be free to pursue his own interests. Ralph actually avoided making more money as he felt it would encroach on his freedom. When his father died, Ralph was in charge of the arrangements. His father had wished to have his ashes sprinkled on the lake where they spent summer vacations as a young family. Strapped for cash, Ralph was aghast to realize that he could not afford the plane fare to fly to the lake to fulfill his father's request. As he handed his father's ashes over to his sister so she could transport them to the chosen lake, Ralph had an epiphany. In his effort to avoid having his freedom limited, he had created exactly what he strove to avoid. It was not money that had restricted him, but not having money. Secured entrepreneurs, how many of you have gone through this? How many of you have gone through this? Now, when I first read this one, I said, man, this so deeply resonates with me in so many ways, because one of the things that I vowed when my great-grandmother transitioned, first of all, I don't come from a very loving family unit. I don't have a very close family unit. Many of the secured entrepreneurs see that I'm always alone for a reason. Okay, it's me and this dog against the world. All right. But I specifically recall that when my great-grandmother, who was 92, transitioned, I was in North Carolina. And at that time, it was a huge struggle because I was very similar, and many of you are the same way as well, to this person that Dr. Kruger is talking about. If I felt like I was being abused in any way, taken advantage of in any way, disrespected in any way, totally like, why am I here? Like, I don't have any business being at this place, going through all of this. I have got to go. Like, I'm not, I cannot do this. This is not for me. And then I would consider, am I making enough money to be mistreated like this and just, abused? And many of us are in toxic workplace environments where you are just totally abused in so many ways. It's horrible. Okay. So I would leave places because of that, right? So when my great grandmother transitioned, I did not have any way. I'm talking plane, train, automobile, okay, to get to New Jersey to do anything. And I did not have the family structure that cared enough about her and about me to arrange something to have her be honored by everyone. Didn't happen. And because I don't come from an environment that, like, let's get Aurorah here. Aurorah needs to be here. What do we have to do? Do we have to put her on a plane? Does she have to rent a car? What does she have to do? Okay. Nobody was thinking about me on that level. So I did not get there. I was not there. And also because I don't come from a very loving environment or an environment that cares about people, right? I did not have the communication with her that I should have been having with her. Okay. Due to many circumstances, basically rooted in ignorance. Okay. So if I had to say there was a regret in my life, that was a regret that I have now healed. However, that was a regret. And I just recall that I was unable to do what I would have liked to do for her or anything around that. Okay. And so when I read this, I was like, oh my good gosh, this is the story for so many people. We want to come out here, and mainly entrepreneurs, because Ms. Aurorah speaks to entrepreneurs. All right. We want to come out here and do our own thing so bad. It is painful to be in spaces that you can't take it. You cannot take it, but you're not seeing the larger picture. When you take yourself out of that stuff, you cut yourself off of the way that this planet designed for you to connect with currency for a while. Many of us are supposed to spend as much time as we need to spend in environments that connect us to currency, even though it's unpleasant. There are too many unpleasant trees to name or speak of when you go into these environments, but that is the design that many people are going to have to walk through before they get to the next phase of life. Because remember, this is a school. So we're always supposed to be learning. So I'm here learning something. So before you create the emotional reaction, you have to learn how to respond intelligently, thinking to yourself, okay, what am I learning here? Okay, now after I figure out, okay, I get it. Now what's my plan? Because I just can't leave like that. Maybe I have to will myself into a position where they lay me off so I can get currency another way. Oh, maybe they have to terminate me. Now I can apply for unemployment benefits. Okay, like you have to be conscious of how it is you are connecting with currency, and then you'll figure out, why do I have so many blocks in my life? Why am I constantly being prevented from the currency that I need to flow to me? What is it that I need to energetically now fix to remove these blocks from my life? It's going to require a very deep dive into your subconscious. Also, another way to say that, get into your memory bank and willfully remember the times that you cut yourself off of the flow of currency, and mend that energetically, mend that in your heart, mend that in your spirit, mend that in your mind. Begin to speak a new thing over yourself and then move in it. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Money means security. Financial security is a measurable and attainable goal. It requires a game plan with specific goals, reasonable strategies for its pursuit, a map to gauge the progress, and measurable results to monitor its arrival. Given those elements, It's entirely doable. The equation of money with emotional security, on the other hand, is a formula without a solution. Recall the exercise in chapter 1. When we seek to put a dollar figure on that point where we reach enough, it often seems to recede forever into the distance. Like pi, it can be calculated forever without teaching a final answer. We'll revisit the question of enough in chapter 11. When money represents the fulfillment of an emotional need, such as security, love, or power, then you can never have quite enough. There is not enough money in the world for you to spend yourself into who you want to be. Okay, so back to the question. Now, we did not start in chapter 1 in this series. We're starting in chapter 2. But if you would like, Mr. Aurorah will go to chapter 1, but chapter 2 is juicy as far as I'm concerned. Take it back to, what does money mean to me? Now, we heard freedom, we heard captivity, and now we're hearing security. Okay, now we know that for society has created this particular path for women especially, because remember, we're coming out of a patriarchal society that says that a woman could not have her own home. She could not even run her own estate that she inherited maybe from her father. She had to have a husband, okay? That a woman had to have a husband to basically live in this world for a very long period of time. She couldn't go out and buy her own house. She couldn't get credit. She couldn't go and get a car. She couldn't rent an apartment, okay? She couldn't get a job. This society has created the implanting of an idea that a woman has to have a man for security. Now, what comes with that man? Her way of living. Whatever money she's going to have access to is provided to her by that man. So for many women, money is security, whether they are creating the monies for themselves or they're getting it from another person. Doesn't have to be a man. It could be someone that's representing the masculine energy for that woman. Okay. Also, money meaning, what did he say? Love. Your emotional security. All right. So to a lot of people, if you give them money, it means you love them. If you give them money, you are securing them emotionally because you're showing them that you care about them. You care enough about how they feel, that you care enough about what they need to make them feel a certain way. We often find in relationships, we talk about our love languages. And so mine's personally, and I'm not surprised by this at all, my primary love languages are gifts and acts of service, receiving gifts and acts of service. So the way that Miss Aurorah desires for you to love her is that you give her gifts. Now, what type of gifts are we talking about? I get them all the time, as a matter of fact, and I share them with a lot of people because that's what it means to me. When people email here, and please continue to email info@AurorahDayConsulting.com, okay? And they say, oh, I just love what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing. Please keep doing it. And they email, oh man, you've got great content. You're saying things that I've never heard before. Like this is exactly what I needed. Those are gifts to me. Those are gifts to me. When people send things here, people will send me ink pens. People have sent me handbags with beautiful quotes on them. People have sent me beautiful leather handbags. People have sent shoes here to me. When I'm saying certain things in these videos, people have sent me things. People have sent many things for the dog. I mean, I'm telling you, it's insane. That's my love language The universe knows that I'm constantly receiving it. You know, people send flowers, and people know I love roses. I will get roses, okay? People know that Miss Aurorah is a foodie. People come to Las Vegas and they consistently want to take me out. That's why it's hard for me to lose weight, y'all, because I love to be in those restaurants. I love being in those restaurants. And Miss Aurorah will, you know, I have a thing about dessert. If the dessert menu sucks, we're not going to this restaurant because I want to have dessert first. Okay? I want my champagne and I want my dessert, right? And so people know, you know, I want a great salad, like, you know. So people, the universe makes sure that I'm receiving these things. And, you know, service. Yes, send Miss Aurorah food, okay? Because Miss Aurorah's in here working all day. When I go to the hotel to set up for the VIPs, the people already know, oh, Miss Aurorah, we've already put all that in the space. You got flowers in there. And we already know the cookies you were going to pick. So we already got you some samples. Start tasting those, you know, make sure everything is all right. And we'll bring up everything when your guests come. You know, they're giving me the service. When I roll up, okay, they're like, oh, we'll park the car for you. No problem. You just come on down when you're ready. You know, we'll have everything. You need to send something up for you. Okay. And when people come to town, and everybody knows Miss Aurorah does not like to drive at night. I do not want to drive at night. This is Las Vegas. People are, can I say hi in the video on YouTube? Can I do that? You know, marijuana is legal in this state. So people are doing that and drinking alcohol. And, you know, in the casinos, they're pumping you with all this oxygen. You don't know what time it is. You're out there playing. They're giving you drinks, okay, that you don't think you're paying for, but you done spent so much money on the floor. They have to give you something to drink. Okay. You have paid for that drink many times over. All right. Then they come out here and they're driving. So Mr. Aurorah's not driving at night. I very rarely want to drive in the daytime. Okay. And my girlfriend Erica says to me, you drive slower than everybody on the road. I think Cousin Ralph told me the same thing. That's right. I'm precious cargo, baby. I'm driving the speed limit. I don't care. Okay. Also, I don't like encounters with police officers. And we're going to get real. I don't like any of that. Do not put no flashing lights for no good reason to tell me that the light is off above my license plate. Like all that buffoonery that these people are allowed to do to frighten the mess out of somebody, to basically, what's the word I want to say? You are in duress when you get out here. You're in duress when you get out there because you don't know, you know, these people are, they just mess with people for no reason. So no. So people send a car for me. They're like, you know, I know you don't want to drive. Let me send an Uber there for you. Okay. And they'll send an Uber for me. Now, I don't particularly care for Ubers either like that. And all the secure entrepreneurs know that. Ms. Aurorah will tell you that I don't particularly care for car services where the people are not checked out and stuff. And many times I've had clients send an actual car service or limousine service here for me because I will not drive at night. And if I think our session is going to go longer, okay, I have to go in the afternoon, maybe around 3 o'clock. They'll send a car service here for me, you know. So gifts and acts of service. So think about in your own life, is money meaning security for you in some type of way? And in what way is it securing you? Because money definitely means security to Miss Aurorah. Okay. The security in that I have the ability to get to where I need to get to, to get to where I need to get to the way I want to get there. To care for little King David because he what they call him a super senior because his butt is so old. Okay. Still running around here. And we got the lovely Mate Garcia that comes here and does his hair. He has hair appointments. And the guy is expensive. He's on meds, all this stuff. Think about where this thing is, okay, in your life. And how is it that you're connecting money being security to the way you do business or the way you are not conducting your business? How is it preventing you from having the type of business that you truly desire to have? What's going on with you there? All right, let's move on. Money means love. I don't care too much for money, Money can't buy me love, sang John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Millions of fans sang the words right along with them and then went on with their lives, earnestly using money in an effort to buy love. Love and money, perhaps the two areas where we most readily deceive ourselves, become merged when we use one to represent the other. The results are rarely positive. A parent may substitute money or the gifts it buys in lieu of physical presence, say in a divorce situation like Brittany's, or in the context of a workable lifestyle. To satisfy a craving for warmth, we may spend cold cash or even colder credit to the point of extreme debt and addiction. Not all money-love connections are obvious. It can seem far easier to create and manipulate money than it is to find and nurture a loving relationship, and we may thus choose the path of least resistance. Working or running a business is something we can control more readily than a relationship, and so we throw ourselves into these pursuits at any cost. We may also spend money as a way to prove or demonstrate our love for another, including children, a spouse, parents, or friends, or they may expect us to. We can even demonstrate our love for community, God, and country through our monetary contributions. Money may not buy us love, but it sure can seem like it does. Oh Lord, who's guilty? Who is guilty? Who is guilty? Do 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 do. I'm guilty. Okay. Miss Aurorah is guilty. Everybody in the secured entrepreneur movement knows that I have, will, and do, and am throwing myself into what I do, my work, because I can control myself in that. I can control how much work I'm doing, how much work I'm not doing, what I'm learning as it relates to what I'm teaching clients, where I'm going to interact with other like-minded entrepreneurs. You know, these are the things that bring me comfort. And again, this is what money is allowing me to do. Get into the spaces with people who know more than me. Money is allowing me to join $25,000 masterminds, $100,000 masterminds. Okay. Money is allowing me to do that. Money is going to allow me to hire the legal team that I need to do certain things that are required in my life right now. I'm depending on the spirit of money. I'll say that because I think people can understand that. I'm depending on the spirit of money. I'm depending on the spirit of currency to flow to me so deeply that I have the ability to do these things. So I'm doing everything physically to assure that happens. Okay. With ease now, with ease. Let's not murder ourselves. Oh, no. Can't say that. Let's not harm ourselves. Let's not harm ourselves here. Choosing the path of least resistance when it comes to money, meaning love. He says you would choose to create and manipulate money before you would choose to be in and nurture a loving relationship. OM to the G. That is so true. That is so true. That is so true. So now, secured entrepreneurs, we have heard money means freedom. Money means captivity. Money means security. Money means love. Now what say you? There's a few more. I'm going to put it in part three. There's a few more. Okay. But are you still going with freedom? Are you going with, because right now Money could mean all these things to people in different areas of your life. Money could mean all these things to people in different areas of your life. OM to the G. All right. Let's get into part 3. Let's get into part 3. You all know you can find me, Miss Aurorah Dey, at AurorahDayConsulting.com. And until next time,